Welcome to Real Day. Well, on Real Day, we have field days, and on Real Week, we let the real speak. And today, what we'll be getting into on Real Day Nation is gym culture and its influencers. Did I say that correctly?
That sound real channel 7 to me, bro. That boy been practicing.
What I would really like to jump into is a multitude of topics. It could be from the gym rats to the newbies to the casuals, the commercial gyms versus the private gyms, and the influencers that come in both of those gyms that we'd like to touch on. So the first thing is where I fall in this category. Now, I started out like anybody as a newbie when I hit this gym. I'm not sure what to do with the equipment. I'm not sure what to start out with. How long do I stretch for? It was a lot to learn when I first started hitting the gyms, right? And I gradually started becoming that casual. And I think I'm now in between a little bit of casual and a little bit of a gym rat. So those are the three tiers that I've maneuvered into. So how it started for me, what made me want to go and get into that gym? It was COVID. Like a lot of us, we were home during COVID, just sitting around, not having to go into work like that, and eating and sitting and gaming. Let's not forget that part. Eating, sitting, gaming, and that weight started to sit on me. And I noticed it where all of us men notice it, right? In our gut. When we look down and we see that, like, hold on, like what that is. So that's where it started for me. That made me want to be like, yo, I need to get in this gym. And I'll be honest, when I first started going, it wasn't a successful run for myself. So I want to tell it to everybody else who's starting this journey, who may have started it and stopped. That's okay, because my first time, I'm say maybe once or twice I started this. I started at home. I stopped. I wasn't consistent. And that's what it is about that consistency. I started at home. I wasn't consistent because you get, I'm home. I'm gonna just lay here. Then I started paying for a membership. And if you paying for a membership, you got that incentive to be like, I'm paying for this. I better use it unless I want to waste my money, because nobody don't want to feel like they're wasting that money, right? So I first started doing it then, right? I first started doing it then, and then I felt like even with that, I think because the distance of the gym and the fact that it was me and the missus who started this time together. The first time I started at home, it was by myself. Then it was multiple times. I'm forgetting the time. First time I started, I was by myself. I started, stopped. I bought like dumbbells and everything. Still got those dumbbells to the day. This was years ago. I started, stopped. And then when I got with the missus, and of course, this is before COVID I'm talking about here. So I'm gonna get back to COVID. This is before COVID. I was just a skinny little something then. and so I then, when I got with my now wife, we decided that let's go try to start a fitness thing too. So we started at home. We had the workout DVDs. what it was, the Insanity. What's another
Shout
one?
out to Sean
Insanity. Yeah, it's the Insanity and
Insanity
another one.
P90X.
We had tried out.
Was
yes,
it P90X?
there we go. P90X.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
yeah, man.
We tried those. We bought mats and everything, and we started, and then we stopped. But what really, I guess, when COVID came and we was at home and was just gaining that weight, was just sitting on us, right? And we just started looking like those filters that we played with. Them filters starting to become reality when they make your face big and all of that. Those face. So we decided to go and start at a commercial gym, and we couldn't go together at this time because we had kids. So we was going separately. So she would go, and then I would go, but we never could go together, and that fell apart. We started that, stopped it, had to cancel that membership after a while because we were like, oh, we're not going, let's go ahead and cancel it. So we stopped. And then sometime later during this COVID thing, we're like, let's try it again. And we tried it again, and this is the result. Like, we've been consistent. The kids are older now too. That helped. The kids are older now, so we were
Yeah,
able to.
man.
All right, y'all sit at home for about an hour or two, and we'll be back. And so we go out, get our workout in, come home, and you know, but now you got that. That's another thing that has changed. That now it's the whole return to office thing we touched on. So now,
Yeah.
before, when I was working from home, like I could do all right, let's go during my lunch and things like that. Now, and we can avoid that after work rush, because everybody's in that rush hour. Everybody's in there, so it's like if we could go during
Right.
my lunch or things like that. And now that we've returned to the office, we gotta hustle and bustle. We gotta hustle for a machine.
My journey so far with trying to make sure I unbig my back, you know what I'm saying? Has been bruh, hey, I just I live in a real place, Dral. I don't live in social media world. I live out here with everybody else. And for those of us that's trying to do that, I had to kind of take my body into consideration, I kind of knew what to do in the military and everything, and was able to keep up the standards. But sometimes it's tough, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes even in the military, it was tough because you also have a job to do. And I don't care what anybody says about how much time you have to work out and all of that. If you had a serious job in the military, which all jobs are serious, but you know what I mean if I say that for my veterans. If you had a serious job in the military, or a job where you were constantly being called upon at different hours of the day, different hours of the night, working out was somewhat of an abstract philosophy for you. Yes, we had to keep up the standards, but it was tough. Whether you're waking up extra couple hours early or however you do it, shout out to those that are still getting it done, you know what I'm saying? But for me, at this point, I was always used to it being difficult to gain weight, and I flipped to it being difficult to lose weight, and that's a whole nother world. That's a whole nother world of thought. That's a whole nother world of processes. So what I decided to do is just go for it, just myself. I did a little research on what that looks like and all of that, and I started out with some different workouts, and I noticed it was a little more painful on my joints. So I said, okay, I got to still get this workout in, but I need to find something that is less painful. And that's when I fell in love with walking. I used to run all the time, but I fell in love with walking, bro. For one, it was good for my mental health and just a peace of mind, reconnect with nature. You know what I'm saying? And I've been enjoying it ever since. So far in my journey, I've lost, I believe, 43 pounds. And all of it, appreciate it, man. I'm almost near my goal weight. I'm almost there where I need to be, because I ain't trying to be a toothpick, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, and none of that. But I'm real close to my goal weight, so I'm proud. I'm proud of that. I thank God for that. But as far as working out, gyms don't really intimidate me. I've been in the gym. I know what to do in the gym. For me, it's probably more social anxiety. It could have came sprouted out of COVID. Because I love people. I love taking care of people. You know my philosophy in that, man. I think that's the way we drive forward. But sometimes that social anxiety kick in, or that PTSD kick in, or that stress kick in when you see a whole bunch of people. That panic, looking for an exit. I don't care how many headphones you wear or what song you listening to. Sometimes it still comes up. Which is why I think a lot of people prefer to work alone, or they want the gym to be empty. It's not that they're trying to be jerks, or, you know what I'm saying, don't want anybody else to work out. It's just something about easing that social anxiety for some people I know, especially me. But yeah, man, walking. I do dumbbell exercises at home. I keep it simple, man. Squats, lunges, push-ups, stuff like that, and just try to challenge myself. My average walking distance is somewhere between 4 and 6 miles. Well, between 4 and 7 miles. But I use it for mental health, like I said, and for everything else, man. I have heard that the ultimate workout, though, is swimming. I love swimming. And it is definitely a workout. I don't think I've ever thought of it as an ultimate workout. Y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think about swimming being a good workout. What I also will say, though, is what has helped me even more than getting out there and getting more emotion is that kitchen. I've said
There we
no.
go. I was going to touch on that.
Yeah, bro. I've said no to a lot of stuff. What's your experience been in the
Yes.
kitchen?
So that's the thing. I love food. I love to eat. You dig? So anybody offer me some food, I'm bound to be like, yeah, let me see what that's
Straight
about.
up.
So the gym is, especially if you're looking to either lose weight or just, get your body together, the gym alone is not the goal. The goal is also that nutrition. I'm not a gym expert or anything like that, but every time I hear somebody who go through the classes and things like that, they talk a lot about nutrition. So we got to be very macros, micros, whatever they call, and be very aware of what we're putting into our body, and especially if we want our body to hold up for as long as it can. We got to be careful of and moderation. I'm not saying that you gotta avoid cakes, candy, and all of that. It's about moderation. So even a healthy food, like too much of a healthy food, can do damage to your body, or what they would deem healthy. So even that could do damage to your body. So it's just about whatever you're eating, doing it in moderation and portion. That portion we got to be very mindful of too, because when my wife in here making me plates and she asks how much you want, quote me on this, I say that grown man portion. Give me that grown man portion. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it be on with me. So it's good to be mindful of what are you putting into your body when it comes to that food. Now, one more thing that I would like to touch on is, we mentioned gym culture, right? There are some things that happen in this gym that I would like to touch on. The first thing that I would like to touch on, especially when it's rush hour, I see this a lot, and I think that it needs to be stopped. Holding a machine. I don't know if you ever experienced this, so let me let you know. And somebody who watched this, whether it be today, right now, where you're watching it, whenever, this probably don't stop. But let me tell you something. Anybody that's out there holding a machine, and what I mean by holding a machine, I mean you want a machine. Let's say you want the bench press, but right now you're on the treadmill, and you say, hey, I got 5 minutes on, or 10 minutes, whatever, however long I got on this treadmill. I'm going to sit my towel, a bottle of water, whatever it is, by this bench press until I'm ready, so nobody else could use it while I'm using this other machine. When somebody could have got done
Correct.
with what they needed while you were on that other machine, that bothers me. Let me tell you what I do. I give it 2-3 minutes tops, maybe. I don't really count. I just look around. I see a machine that I want to use, and I'll look around, because I know sometimes people leave maybe that water because they're going to get the towel or something like that, a paper towel to wipe down the machine. So I'm not just going to assume somebody's trying to hold the machine. I'm going to assume that they're either about to come wipe it down or they're about to get on it right now, right? So I will wait and I'll look and I'll see, okay, nobody's coming. Oh, or they coming to wipe it down. I'm going to ignore whatever is right there, and I'm going to start working out. And we could talk about it at the front desk. The bottom line, you hear me? Because I go to a commercial gym. Let me add that. I go to a commercial gym, meaning this is cost maybe $10, $30 at the most, one of these commercial gyms. And I'll talk about commercial versus the private, because that's the main thing, the pricing with a lot of people. But commercial gyms, $10 a month, maybe $30 at the most. I don't know. And I know it's not a lot. And when it comes to commercial gyms, it means like everybody wants to pay that low price, so that gym is going to be full, especially after work. So nobody got time after work to also wait for you hold the machine because you about to use it within the next 10, 20 minutes. I don't care. It could be 5 minutes. Like, If somebody get on it, then you got to change up your workout. This is a commercial gym. If you want to hold the machine, buy it for your own home. You ain't got to worry about nobody else getting on it. Get it at your crib. Stay at your crib. Do it there. Or go to, I don't know how private gyms work because I never really attended one because of the pricing, and that's what I was going to get into. Like, I know a lot of the times with those private gyms, they cost a grip, you know. For what I understand, it could range from almost like $100 or something, like $70 just for one of those private gyms. So I know there's a time where they got those machine hoggers, and with those machine hoggers, they feel like they call it supersets.
Supersets.
Yeah, you heard of that term before? All right, so with some supersets, and y'all, anybody could correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to those supersets, is they doing a set on one machine, go get up and go to the next machine, do a set on there. Now, what's going to happen is, now there's some nice people about it who do supersets, so I don't want to say everybody who hog a machine is mean or being inconsiderate, because there are those people out there who would be like, all right, I'm doing supersets, but you go work in this with me. While I'm on this machine, we could rotate. You get on that one, and we just rotate and shed a machine like that. So that's fine. But if you're just trying to hold it while you and half the time they be on the other machine on their phone, looking at their phone while the other person looking like, oh, I'm trying to get on this one, but you in the between a set, I guess, looking at your phone, kind of trying to catch a breather or whatever. But still, no, that's a no-go for me in a commercial gym. I don't know how private work. If anybody have ever been to a private, one of those upscale gyms, let me know. But I know for sure when it comes to that commercial where everybody is, mostly everybody, there's a stat that says 62% of the U.S. goes into commercial gyms. So when you got over half of the U.S. population going into these commercial gyms, we don't got time for nobody to be holding up no machines. But what we do got time for is for you to buy your own machine if you want to hold it that long. You know what I'm saying? So that's the gripe that I have. Well, one of the gripes that I have with people who hold machines, especially during peak hours. And we know those peak hours of people coming after work, you know. So
yeah, that's real.
What you think about that, man?
I think you need to give up the machine or get these hands. Everybody big can't fight.
Straight up.
And like, just because you might be a little sore on the eyes don't mean you a gangster. Relax. Mm-hmm. Get up.
I've had someone like come to me. It's rarely though. It's rarely, but it was during the peak hours. They came to me while I was on the machine. I don't hold the machine, but they came to me while I was on the machine and asked me how many sets do I have left. And I'm always honest. Like for the most part, I don't. Me and the missus go to the gym together, but we work out separately because we are targeting different things. Right. We already know what the women are targeting. Right. We target different things, so we work out differently. So I say women. I ain't trying to group all y'all. All right, but you know, most of y'all.
Slide,
I know what y'all targeted. Yeah.
It was about to slide. I don't even like working out. Okay. All right, man. All right. Sorry.
But, you know, I've had people come to me and be like, hey, how many sets do you got left? And I'm always like, well, I'm about to finish up. Or if I'm just starting, I'll be like, I just got on. If you want to work in with me, I'll do that. Because I do several sets on the machine. I don't just do one and go to the next machine. I got a regimen that I like to do when I'm working out. And if I see somebody who really want this machine too, I work out with them if they wanted to. I never had this happen, but I'm open to it. Like, all right, you want to work this in with me? We could do that, you know. So that's fine with me. But as far as like holding a machine, it's a no-go.
That is a lot. Work out at home.
Yeah.
Do push-ups and sit-ups and squats until you can get your first machine. Go walking.
Right.
I go walking. And I got stuff here I also work out with, but mine started out with walking. Do something other than bring your attitude. Ain't nobody tell you to work where you working. Ain't nobody told you to do what you were doing. I'm sorry if your girl or your dude is tripping on you. I'm sorry if you having a bad day. But don't throw your bad day out on everybody else, man.